And there's a 13-year-old girl standing at the podium, trembling. And she's giving testimony at the sentencing hearing of the monster who had abused her. And she gives her testimony, and at the end of her testimony, she looks around at the other girls who were in the room who had been abused with her by the same man. And she sees the faces of the parents filled with rage and hurt and even guilt because they didn't know what was happening. And she slowly reaches into her pocket and pulls out a wrinkled card. You know what was on the front of that card? It was a picture of an empowered woman holding a sledgehammer, which looking through shattered glass, and on the front of that card it said, "Overcomer." And she began to read in the courtroom, "Stare down your fears, shatter your insecurities, shake off the apathy that tries to hold you back. You're not a prisoner. You're an overcomer." Are you? The first time that 13-year-old girl came to our church was 2 weeks before. She was in a girls' shelter who has been coming routinely to our church, and it's completely optional for those girls to come, and they come and they worship and they experience grace. The first time she was there was 2 weeks before she was to give testimony. And I began to think about the perfect storm that happened for that girl who desperately needed some hope to walk in and find it laying on her seat and find it in our church. And I thought about the fact that weeks before, months before, there was a thought born of the Spirit placed in Pastor Craig's heart. And it was an idea that was cast to Creative Media. Creative Media, would you guys stand up? As you guys began to process and create the graphics and the words, no idea what. Stay standing, because from there, what happens when they start sending out emails and they're buzzing around every writer. IT, are you guys in the house? Is anybody thankful for a computer and an internet that works and a system that works? And Central begins to buzz, and HR and finance and spaces and places and everything that's happening at Central. And then what happens? Operations, anybody from operations in the house? You're ordering those cards, right? And they're rolling in. And then the host team gets those cards, and what do? They're setting up the room, and they're putting that card on the seat so that girl, when she walks in, Life Kids, what are you guys doing back there? There is no Life Church without Life Kids, because we are one body, right? With many parts. Gujarati, come on. You know what Open Network means to me. And you guys are sending those resources all over the globe. And there are 13-year-old girls. And there are 70-year-old men. And there are thousands and thousands of people. We don't know their name. And God is using you, one body, as a part of the body to transform lives. So today, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for that 13-year-old girl, and for Jackie, and for Jim, and for Tony, and for Lena, and for Stacy, and for all of those people, because you guys are overcomers. Stare it down. Keep going. We are better together than we can ever be on our own. Let's go.
Man, I was sitting there thinking about that's pretty powerful. I mean, I don't know who originally crafted those words, but I mean, that's got to be pretty powerful for you to realize the words you crafted originally. I was sitting there thinking about that. You sat at some laptop somewhere and worked on that wording that Johnny read. And I was sitting there thinking, you had no idea it was going to be read in a courtroom to a bunch of little girls. And I just think about, who is that? Who is it? You're all pointing. Chuck, you did that? Chuck Porter. Chuck. Atta boy, Chuck. I just tell you, man, some days you can sit in that room, in that same desk, at that same laptop, and just keep writing copy over and over, and then somebody sends it back and says it's not good enough, and you're like, I'm going to do it again. Not good enough, do it again. And the reason is because one day somebody's going to read it in a courtroom, and it's going to transform lives. And I'll tell you what, that's good enough right there. Good stuff, man.